Hello.
Good morning.
Oh,
Morning.
hello.
This is Ed Nowak.
Oh, hello, Ed. It's Nick Pope here at Newton. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can, Nick. Hear you very well.
Excellent, excellent. Now, I have to start all these calls by saying that we do not wish to receive any material non-public information. That's a requirement of our compliance team. I'm sure you don't wish to give us any either.
No, that's true.
But, yeah, and also that we obviously we don't wish you to break any confidentiality agreements that you may have.
Yes.
And I'm sure you don't wish to do that either.
Very sensitive to that. Before we begin, let me ask you a question. Give me a little, so I can answer appropriately, give me what the nature is of your assignment, your project, what you're trying to accomplish here.
Sure thing. I work for a long-only asset manager called Newton. We have a reasonably sized shareholding in Principal Financial Group and have done for quite some time. And all I'm really trying to do is to understand a bit more about their 401k business as it relates to the SME segment, the product mix that they have, the kind of the competitive dynamics of that market. And the reason why I'm looking at it is Principal's been a great shareholding for us. It's been a phenomenal gatherer of assets and in net inflows into its 401k book. More recently, there's been a bit more volatility of those flows, in particular in the large case market. So there's been a bit more outflow than in the past. And what I'm really interested in doing is understanding whether the SME segment, which is, from what I understand from talking to the company, around 70-75% of the kind of revenues and profits of the book, whether that part of the business is going to remain resilient and continue to drive revenues and profit growth going forward, or whether there are some challenges to that part of the book as well.
Okay, very good. Well, I'm the guy you want to talk to because I've been on the inside there for 45 years. Every one of those areas that you just recently discussed, I either headed it up or was intricately involved in product development, vendor selection, etc. So I can speak very authoritatively to these topics. Excuse my voice, by the way, I got a little bit of a cold. Let me address the first issue that you brought up, the resilience of that segment of the market. At Principal, we have three segments in the market. We call it the emerging, which is plans under $5 million. The dynamic segment, which is 5 to 50, and the institutional segment, which I created and headed up for 15 years, which is the area where you're concerned about the flows. Clearly indicated that, and it will continue to be, the area where we have the highest revenue and stability is definitely the small to medium-sized case. That is the focus of the operation, all right, and it will continue to be in the future. The other indicator of the quality or the power of that smaller segment is the type of revenue we generate. And again, this is not proprietary; it's public knowledge. And the emerging segment crank out 80 to 100 basis points of revenue on a deal. Plan over $5 million, start with the $5 million. If you go to our intermediate segment, you might see 50 to 60 basis points of revenue. If you move to the institutional segment, we're all circling the drain together. We're looking at 15 to 20 basis points of revenue. Okay. Now, to give you another statistic, if we were to look at the national studies that we get from Callan and other firms, the average cost, and again, this is taking all the major players, that we all subscribe to the same services with dots on the matrix board. It costs about $110 to $120 per head, all right, to run a plan effectively and provide about 30 to 35 necessary services. Today, we're writing plans in the institutional space at $20, and somebody will write it at 15. Fidelity, T. Rowe, Vanguard, etc. To define the nature of our business, it's two terms. It's a takeaway business, all right, and it's fee compression. Now, this characteristic is happening at all levels of the marketplace, but it's most intense for the area that you cite. Now, for example, we had 2 or 3 large plans, billion-dollar deals, go off the books in the last 12 to 18 months, and that's what you're looking at on the analyst reports. Those